Welcome back, Koi Academy. I'm so glad you're here for this explainer, because today we are unpacking the mechanics behind a massive financial hurdle. And honestly, here's the absolute best part. Right off the bat, we're going to take all that guilt you might feel about your past spending habits and we're just going to throw it right out the window. If you've ever made an unplanned purchase and later beat yourself up thinking, why don't I have better self control? I really need you to hear this. It's not about your willpower. Today, we're shifting the blame away from you and placing it exactly where it belongs, on the incredibly sophisticated, highly engineered algorithms that are specifically targeting you every single day.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start by busting the willpower myth, then expose the Gen Z engineered triggers, calculate the true cost, and finally arm you with system-based defenses and this really cool concept called planned enjoyment. Let's get into it. Section 1. The willpower myth. Let's talk about why it's not you. It's billion-dollar design teams. You know how traditional financial advice always frames you as the problem, like you just need to try harder? Well, scratch that. That's honestly like blaming yourself for losing a foot race against a Ferrari. You're the underdog here, going up against Goliath-sized behavioral design teams. Their entire job, literally their only metric for success, is figuring out how to get you to click buy before your rational brain can even catch up. And that brings us to this core realization. Impulse buying isn't a willpower problem, it's a design problem. Letting that sink in instantly removes the guilt. When you realize you're fighting design, you realize you have to fight back with your own design. Let's do a super quick brain breakdown. We hear about dopamine all the time, right? People often mistakenly call it the reward chemical. Well, actually, it's the anticipation of reward chemical. It fires and peaks before you actually make a purchase. Have you ever anxiously waited for a package like, a weird 2 a.m. impulse buy, maybe a neon sign shaped like a taco, only to open it and feel totally let down? That is because your dopamine already peaked days ago right at the checkout screen. Meanwhile, you've got your prefrontal cortex. This is the logical, rational part of your brain that looks at long-term consequences and asks, hey, hold on, do I actually need this? But here's the catch. Your rational brain runs so much slower than the engineered urgency on these platforms. By the time your logic finally kicks in to ask if you can actually afford something, the scarcity tactics and social proof have already pushed you right through checkout. Moving into Section 2, Gen Z engineered triggers. These are the literal weapons being used against you.
Think about it. The triggers previous generations faced were just static store window displays. You're dealing with triggers embedded directly inside your social life. TikTok Shop and Instagram tags weave products right into your entertainment. You've got countdown timers screaming, only 3 left, even though we all know they just reset if you refresh the page. And one-click purchasing, that deliberately nuked the protective friction of having to physically grab your wallet. That friction used to give your brain time to think. Add in influencer haul culture and flash sales, and you are constantly being targeted exactly when you're most vulnerable. When you're bored, stressed, or just mindlessly scrolling in bed. All right, Section 3, the true cost. What are you actually losing here? It is so easy to brush off impulse buys, right? A $20 item here, a $15 add-on there. It feels incredibly small in the moment. But as Koi Academy students, we have to look at the math. Let's look at a really realistic monthly audit. Say you spend $60 on social media buys, 45 on flash sales, 55 shopping when you're bored, and maybe 30 in random add-ons. That is $190 a month leaking out of your bank account without you even noticing. And that adds up to a very real $2,280 a year. But wait, it gets crazier. We don't just look at a single year. If you took that exact same $190 a month that is currently just slipping through the cracks and instead invested it at a conservative 7% return over 30 years, brace yourself. It compounds to $228,000. That is a massive amount of wealth you were basically just giving away. So the absolute crucial point is this. The real price is never just the sticker price on the item. It's the compounding that your money never got the chance to do. I really want that visceral reframing to sink in for a second. Every time a platform extracts an impulse buy from you today, they aren't just taking $20. They are literally extracting hundreds or even thousands of dollars of wealth from your future self. Which brings us to Section 4, system-based defenses, how we actually fight design with design. So, your willpower naturally gets depleted when you're tired or stressed, but systems never get tired. We are going to intentionally add annoying friction back into your life to act as a shield. Step 1,
delete your saved payment info from everywhere. Forcing yourself to physically type out those card numbers gives that dopamine spike time to cool off. Step 2. Put things on a wish list and wait a mandatory 48 hours. Step 3. Turn off app notifications so you hunt for sales, they don't hunt you. And step 4. Unfollow those haul accounts. If someone's entire feed is just affiliate links, you're not being inspired. You're being marketed to.
Okay, here's a remarkably powerful psychological trick to help you tangibly evaluate a purchase before you click buy. It's called the cost per hour frame. Instead of just looking at the dollar amount, you convert the price tag into literal hours of your own work. Let's say you see a $90 impulse buy, and your income after taxes is about $15 an hour. Well, 90 divided by 15 is 6. That item literally costs 6 hours of your life. That's 6 hours of you waking up early, commuting, dealing with your boss, doing the grind. You just have to ask yourself, would I trade 6 hours of my actual working life for this piece of clothing or this random gadget? Honestly, when you frame it in time instead of dollars, the answer is usually a hard no.
Finally, Section 5. Planned enjoyment. How to buy stuff without the guilt.
Listen, I want to be super clear here. This explainer is absolutely not about punishing yourself or never buying fun things again. That is just a straight path to burnout. Instead, we just have to distinguish between an engineered impulse and planned enjoyment. An impulse reaction is triggered by an ad, decided in seconds, and it's completely unbudgeted. But planned enjoyment, that's an independent thought. It survives that 48-hour wait, and it comes straight out of your budgeted wants fund. When you buy from that bucket, it's not a failure at all. It's a deliberate financial victory. Zero guilt. So I want to leave you with this final ultimate test for any unplanned purchase. Next time you're hovering over the buy button, ask yourself, did I think of wanting this before I saw it, or did seeing it create the want? Enforce that 48-hour rule to take back your compounding interest. But as you do, I want you to consider this. As AI and behavioral algorithms get exponentially smarter in the next 5 years, how much more aggressive are these design teams going to become? Will your defenses be ready? I know they will be. You've got this, Koi Academy. See you next time.